Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is your captain, Matt King speaking. Soon we'll set flight to Brazil with a layover in Brazil because that's where we're going. We know that your YouTube channels are a client's preference, so we thank you for flying Football United Airways. Fasten your seatbelt, sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. United Airways, we fly. Hello, welcome back to Football United TV, and we are here once again for Football United Airways. We were going to talk about the Uruguayan League and the Brazilian League, but today is just going to be simply the Brazilian League, and I'm joined by none other than my co-owner and co-host, Charlie Millen, and his good friend, Antoine and Two Brazilians, one English in this group right now. So we're going to have a really good chat. Guys, how are you doing?
I'm good. Having a little sound problem because of the construction happening in my building. I hope we get through this, but I'm really excited. Like, I've been wanting to do something on YouTube with this guy for a while. Antoine, he's one of my best friends. We've known each other for over 10 years, like 11, 12 years, I think. And his football knowledge is immense, and that's both like when you're talking about the teams, how they're doing right now, but also about the game because he plays really well. So really excited to have him here, and I hope it makes up for the freaking sound problem. Yeah.
Sorry,
how are you, my man?
I'm good. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, Matt. It's really nice to meet you, and thank you for being here. It's an honor, and I'll give my best, my knowledge, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Thank you, Antoine. Thank you for joining us today. It's a real pleasure. And look, the Brazilian League hasn't started yet, has it? But it's close, isn't it, Charlie?
Yes. I think the first round happens like towards the last week of May, right? So in like 2-3 weeks, maybe. But we already know like how the teams are preparing, how they're looking. We can definitely assume who's going to be fighting for the top spots. Antoine here, he knows a lot about everything, but he is a Flamengo fan, and I want to talk about his grandfather in a little bit. But Flamengo is definitely the team to beat. You know, they're the big scary monster in Brazil right now that the other teams have to chase, just try to close the gap. So yeah, the Libertadores has begun though. The Champions League of South American football, it's already in the group stages. We've had 2 rounds. Both Flamengo and Fluminense are looking decent so far. They're doing okay. So yeah, we have plenty to go on about. Also, the state leagues are happening right now. They should be relevant, but they're not. They're really not. So yeah, we have plenty to go on.
Well, you did just see me accidentally put up the table, which it doesn't really matter, does it? There's no one's played. It's very tight there, isn't it, at the top?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, América Mineiro would love it if their name played a role in finishing there, because they're never gonna win the league. That's one of the smaller teams in Brazil.
Yeah. What about you, Antoine? Like, who do you support again? I don't know whether you said actually before we started.
Yeah, I'm Flamengo. So it's maybe the most important football club in Brazil right now. They have a lot of good prospects and maybe some of known players like Gabigol. He went to Inter de Milan and then Benfica, and it didn't work very well. So he came back, and now he's like maybe one of the most scorers in the league. I mean, he's fantastic, and but a lot of Brazilian clubs are really relevant at the moment. So Atlético Mineiro, it's very strong, even though they are spending money that they don't have. They have a lot of investors, so it will be a problem in like maybe 4 or 5 years, they will have a big problem. Palmeiras, as usual, he's a very strong team, and he always is relevant in the Brazilian scenario. And maybe São Paulo right now, they are really strong. They just pick up Hernan Crespo, former Argentinian striker, and as a coach, and he's doing very well. So yeah, we got a lot of great teams, and I guess Flamengo will have a really, really hard work.
Agree, Charlie?
Yes, I do think the distance got smaller this season. I think a lot of teams, because Flamengo didn't get any worse. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they got any better. I don't know if Antoine agrees with me, but from last season to this season, they pretty much stayed the same, right? A great team, but they pretty much stayed on the same level. Of course, because the manager took his position at Flamengo halfway through the season, so it's most likely that he's going to be doing better now with the full season as well. But I do think that the teams of, as he mentioned, Atlético Mineiro is probably the most improved. They're doing well. As he said, there's a good chance they're going down the drain in a couple of years. Their biggest rival, Cruzeiro, was like they're used to being a better team than Atlético Mineiro, but they spent a lot of money. They absolutely broke. Now they're in the second division. They were closer to getting relegated to the third division than coming back to the first one. So Atlético Mineiro definitely needs to watch out long term, but short term they're gonna do well this season. They're definitely one of the big dogs. I would add Fluminense to that list. I think Fluminense is looking really exciting this season. I don't think we stand a chance of winning the league or the Libertadores. The Libertadores, you have the elimination rounds, right? So there's always a chance that something really weird's going to happen, but it's unlikely. Fluminense reached the final of the Libertadores once, like 13 years ago, and we were a much better team than we are now. So it's now looking very promising, but we're definitely looking good. He was talking about the prospects. That's one thing that Fluminense needs to hold on to, because our youth academy is phenomenal. Flamengo's is really good as well, but Fluminense is like, we have a recent history of a lot of talent. I think the most promising kid in Brazil right now is Kaique. I don't know if Antoine agrees. I never asked him about that. But yeah, I think it was a fair assumption. São Paulo did well last season, sort of ups and downs, but if they find a manager that's going to keep them steady, they should be doing well as well. Yeah, that's about it. I think that's the top five. That would be my guess for the top five this season.
Can I ask you both? Juventus, where did that team come from with a name like that? Can I ask? It sounds a little similar to Juventus, doesn't it? Is there any
Which
like
one?
Juventude?
Juventude. It means youth.
Oh, okay. See, there you go, people.
It means youth. It's one of the smaller teams as well. I can't tell you exactly where the name came from. It's from Caxias do Sul, right?
Yeah.
It's. I don't know if it's a neighborhood there. I don't know if there's any symbol behind it, but it means youth. That's all.
In Brazil, in the I guess it was the third league, there is a Juventus, but it's from São Paulo, I guess.
Yeah, it's from the whereabouts of São Paulo. Yes.
But they're not great, I guess. They never went to the second division. They're always like third or fourth division.
Yeah.
Everybody's tuning in. Please do smash a like, share, subscribe. We are all on the Brazilian League today. Unfortunately, Chris Paul couldn't join us today. I think he's doing exams, and that is way more important than talking about football, even though he probably wants to do that. Exams come first. So let's get straight onto it. What are you making of the league this season? Do you think it'll be different from last season?
Yeah, definitely. I guess first of all, Flamengo is also very. They had a lot of pressure to win the league, but there are other teams that, as I said, they are very strong at the moment, and I guess they have the power to continue to do that all season. Um, but it's important to say that Atlético Mineiro, they brought Hulk, Brazilian superstar who were playing in the Chinese. I don't
Super
remember
League.
I don't remember his club, but he's very good. He got an awful start. He not very nice at the moment, not very good at the moment, but he's a superstar and he plays very well. So the I guess it was a good both. That's it.
Good
They
purchase.
buy,
Good.
yeah, good
Yeah,
purchase. Yeah, sorry. And then they got Nacho Hernandez, who played at River Plate,
he's a
who is,
baller.
yeah, he's a really good baller. He's a little old too, but I guess in the team he will be a perfect match. And there
Yeah,
are the
this
other
this
players.
this guy that he just spoke about, I think 2 years ago he was voted the best player in South America. He's really good.
Yeah,
And Hulk, it's Hulk, right? He just scored a really nice goal on Saturday, I think. Really
yeah.
nice one from like really long range. But who else were you talking about? Sorry.
No, I guess that's it. The most relevant players that they bought at the moment, and they
Yeah.
already had a really good base in the team. So I guess they will do a very good job this year. And as I said, São Paulo has a really good team, and with Crespo as manager, they will do incredible things too. So Flamengo better look out because they're coming.
What about Santos? Like, how are they looking recently? Any improvements?
Actually, Santos lost the very best player. His number 10. It's Soteldo. He just went to Toronto, and
Toronto.
yeah,
Yeah, Mel's team.
MLS.
Hey, there you go, Mel. There's one for you.
Yeah, he's a very good player. I guess it's
Like
a bit,
this big.
yeah, but it's a big loss for Santos. I
Would
guess
would that be would that be a progression for the player though, Antoine? Like, do you think going to Toronto is going to improve him trying to get to where he wants to be? Is he a young player? Or is he
yeah.
quite?
No, he has I think has 26 years old, and I guess for me Europe would be the perfect way, because maybe not Real Madrid or Chelsea United, but a small team in Europe will do a lot better for him as a professional. But he has a family. He's Venezuelan um, born, so he has a lot of difficulties in his country. I guess Canada is a perfect match for him because he will win a lot of money. He will be in serious league, who is developing, and I guess for him and his family, it's the way to go. But I would prefer to see his football in a bigger league.
Yeah. There's a lot of sides to this discussion, as Antoine just pointed out a couple, but you know, if you're asking me who would win in a game like the Santos against Toronto FC, I'd bet my money on Santos. Brazilian teams are still better than American teams, but I'm not sure Santos has a lot more exposure than Toronto FC right now. The MLS is starting to get a lot of traction in Europe as well. A lot of people watch that league nowadays. And with the, I don't even know if Antoine knows of that, but there's a big possibility that the American League, the MLS, sorry, the North American League, right? It's gonna like the
Merge.
Mexican and the North American League, they're gonna combine into one huge super league. So that has the potential to be as good as the Brazilian league because
Yeah, that
Mexico is
would
a
be.
great league.
Yeah.
Mexico is probably the second best league, maybe third. You know, you have Argentina as well, and you put America, who's probably fourth. So that's going to become a badass league. he's gonna make more money. There's life quality in Toronto. You can't compare the life in Brazil to life in Toronto. You can't. You can't.
Great.
Even though he lived in Santos, that's a really nice city. Still, like you.
I agree. But can I bring a cousin in? I see his face.
Go
He's
ahead.
like a puppy at the window trying to get bought, and I just want to add him in and make him feel comfortable here. Anthony.
Cousin.
Hello, Matt. Because I'm not. All I've been hearing on this stream is Fluminense. All right, Boyer. Well, what's wrong with them? Eh?
And just to point out, Anthony, he's my cousin, and he became a Bahia supporter in the time that we spent YouTubing together. So now he's a
brilliant.
Bahia just lost. They just lost to Ceará this weekend.
Yeah, they lost 1-0. Yeah. But they're second in the league, though, so they're not doing too bad in that little competition, are they?
Okay, but the league they're in right now is the league from the state they're from, right? From Bahia. It's the name of the state and the name of the club. They should be first because I'm pretty sure their biggest rival, Vitória, who I'm assuming are first, they're in the second division. They're in the second division. So Bahia should be winning that competition. I'm sorry to break that to you.
Well, Charlie, if you can, I don't know how your computer is, but if you can actually share that league and what's going on right now, like pull up the share, that'd be great because I have no idea what I'm searching for on that. I do have this here though, guys. This is Copa Libertadores recently, and you got games tomorrow. You got Flamengo there, look, against LDU Quito. Can I say that? Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, that's right.
Who do I want to win this game? I freaking hate these teams.
Oh, Flamengo winning.
LDU is the team that beat Fluminense in the final of the Libertadores of 2008. It's the only time we reached the final. We were robbed by the ref, but we still lost. So I hate their guts, and they beat us once again the year after that, and sort of like our Europa League, because Fluminense reached the final against the same team, and we lost big time that time. That time so the ref didn't do anything.
Was it like a walk in the park for them?
The second time it was. The second time it was a walk in the park. I think we actually, it was 2 games. I think we actually won the second one like 3-1 or something, but they won the first one 5-0 in a final. That's just
5-0 in a final. Oh,
yeah.
Ouch!
That's not ideal. Not ideal.
It's not, is it? No. But I mean, the Brazilian league's doing very well. I mean, it has done. I mean, you had 2 Brazilian teams in the final this year, the Copa Libertadores, if I can say it correctly. I say it too quick. So yeah, like looking at it from around South America, like how is, in your perspective, the Brazilian league doing? With you got the Argentinian league there. That's very good. Like you got River Plate, Boca Juniors. Do you think the Brazilian league is pushing up to the level that it started from, like years and years ago?
No. I mean, I'm gonna let Antoine talk more than me in this one because Fluminense hasn't been very present in South American competitions recently. We just got back after like 9 years or something. Flamengo's been there for a couple of years straight, so he's gonna know more about the other countries. But what I can tell you, 2 things. One, Brazil is the best league in South America. There's no discussion there. I know some websites are going to talk about Argentina for some reason. Maybe Mexico because Tigres, they have been really successful internationally as well. But Brazil's the best, stayed here. So it's never going to go back to that level. But I definitely think it's growing. At the same time that Flamengo being this great, being this massive, is sort of annoying because we're becoming more similar to European leagues where you have a big favorite, We're not used to seeing that in Brazil. We're used to seeing like 9 possible champions. But at the same time, it's bringing more traction. Like nowadays, Flamengo is a more attractive option than most teams that are not the big dogs, in Europe. A player would rather play for Flamengo than play for Fiorentina or something, right? Like Flamengo's gotten, and some teams are trying to do the same. São Paulo, they got Daniel Alves. I know he's like 62, but still, like one of the best right backs in history. Like he's there in São Paulo. Fluminense has Fred. He's been here for a while. Like that doesn't really play into it, but Robinho, was it not like for some misfortunate things, he would have been playing in Santos. Hulk is joining Atletico, so that's good for the league. Like we're getting a good mix. But go ahead, Antoine. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I guess you're completely right. To talk about a little more about Libertadores, I guess the Argentinian teams, they understand better the competition. So they have the talent, they have the structure, they have the supporters, and the supporters of Argentinian teams are amazing. They do the difference in Libertadores because they're very small stadiums and there's a lot of pressure, and they play a very big part of the game. But most of all, there's a little bit more of difficulties in Libertadores because there's some teams who played in a different kind of grass, the artificial grass, and there are teams who played at LDU, who played 400,000 altitude.
I think it's like 4 kilometers up.
4 kilometers up, yeah. So that's become very difficult for Flamengo to win this kind of games, and for other teams too, because only they are used to play in these conditions. So there are a lot of things that involve Libertadores. So I guess that's why people really like it, because there's a lot of adversity and a lot of passion. And I think that Argentinian teams do better in these circumstances, better than Brazilian right now.
I know it sounds silly, but the fact that Brazil's the only country that speaks Portuguese and not Spanish plays a little part there as well. All the refs and all the players speak Spanish, everyone. Then you have the Brazilians who, like, if I'm being very honest, of course VAR is gonna sort of fix that, but the group stages of the Libertadores doesn't have VAR. But that's gonna stop the mistakes from happening slowly. But refs tend to not like Brazilian teams. That's usually what happens. We do have sort of a reputation in there. Like that happens in Europe as well. Brazilians have a reputation everywhere. We're little weasels.
You don't do very good at Man United. I don't know what it is with Brazilians at Man United, mate. I don't know what it is. It must be the air in Manchester. I don't know what it is. Anthony, what do you make of a newly Fluminense supporter? So how do you feel? What do you mean? No, he's not.
He's not a Fluminense supporter.
I thought he was following him because of you, bro.
No.
He's Bahia.
Yeah. They're the team.
Right.
Okay, look at cousin. He's laughing. He always laughs when I.
That's changed. Everybody, smash the like, share, do what you can. There's 7 people in the room right now. Please do hit the like, subscribe if you're watching. We're trying to get you involved into educating myself, and I know Anthony, I know Antoine and Marley know their biz, but everybody that's watching, I'm pretty sure you don't quite know what's going on, and this is good. This is education. Anthony, yes. So why did you pick Bahia?
I don't know. It's a bit, well, I remember I was watching a game. I think it was on YouTube or something like that, and I was watching them, and they were playing really well. I think they won. I can't remember who they played now. I think it might have been Charlie's missus team. Is it Santos? So she likes or something.
Internacional.
Yeah. Right. So I think it was them they actually beat going back a while ago. So but yeah, and then obviously got Meet to Charlie like on the streams and that, and I just wanted to sort of like follow Brazilian football. But I have been keeping up with it like recent, like when I can, that sort of thing. And but
When you're
yeah,
awake,
they're like
yeah.
they're like the in the Brazilian league, they're like the Burnley in the Premier League. Yeah, would I be right, cuz, by saying that? Yeah.
That makes
Really?
sense. That makes sense. Maybe a little better than Burnley.
I hope so.
Maybe. Who would you compare Bahia to, Antoine? The Premier League.
In the Premier League right now,
Yeah. Because Bahia hasn't been relegated in a while. Like they've established themselves as a first division team. So they're not really a Burnley. They're more a Crystal Palace, maybe.
I guess, yeah, that would be a good comparison. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they have the same colors as well.
We'll see Man United.
But you know what? It's funny to me, just like an English guy supporting Bahia, but it makes more sense than you would think. Like if you ever went to see them live in Bahia in the northeast of Brazil, I don't think you'd go back to England. It's a beautiful place. A lot of Europeans fall in love with that place. Like it's just the most beautiful beaches ever. The weather is just so hot. I mean, I think it's hot, but a lot of people think it's nice.
I've got Charlie. I've got the this is the league table with Bahia in it, right? And Vitória and Fluminense. Who is that at the bottom there?
There's like a cousin team to Fluminense.
Fluminense de Feira Football Club, right? Did I say that right?
It's not that's not the team I support. It's like a distant cousin to us. But yeah, Bahia are doing crap, cousin. Look at that. 4th place, and that's sad.
So what is this thing? Go on. No, go on.
Second in another. Sorry, I think they're playing another. Is this the one I'm looking at? Because I thought it was another competition. Because they're playing. They're second, and they're playing tomorrow as well. By as well, if I remember correctly.
Oh, is it Sul-Americana maybe?
Yeah, they were second in the league last time I checked. Oh, yeah, and they got yeah, this is a different one. I think that they got 2 leagues they're playing in, 2 separate ones. Like in a competition.
I think right now Bahia are playing in 3 different competitions. They're playing in Copa do Nordeste. Yeah. They're playing Copa do Nordeste, which is the cup for the northeastern teams. It's a really cool competition. It's quite recent actually. Because northeastern teams, they're really popular. Their supporters are amazing, but they're not really competitive, right? Like they don't win a lot because the teams in the south and the southeast are definitely the strongest teams in Brazil by far. Like all the biggest clubs are in those regions. So they created this competition just for the northeastern teams. Bahia is playing in the Bahia League as well, the competition from Bahia, the state. And they're playing in the Sul-Americana, I think, which is the Europa League of South American football. That one, yeah, they are playing in. Maybe that's where you were looking at. Yeah, you guys are second. In this one, you guys are doing well. If Bahia qualifies for the next stage, that's good for them.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
He's lost it. What do you make of this table, Antoine?
Yeah, I guess Bahia could do a lot better. So as Vitória. Juazeirense is a known club, but he's also at this number 2 division. So there's a lot of surprises. Alagoinhas is very, very, very small, and they're doing very well. And I guess that's it. Bahia maybe focusing in Sul-Americana and Copa do Nordeste because they have the bigger prize. And usually when they play in the state, there's a lot of preparation because usually it's the first championship that you play in the year. So you're coming back from vacations. Usually the players are not that good, so they use that as a preparation for big competitions. So I guess that's it. Bahia has an enormous club, very good players, and they shouldn't be there.
Yeah, like they probably played their reserves a lot, maybe some of the youth players. That happens a lot. Flamengo and Fluminense did the same for the I mean, we're about to face a final, one against the other, right? Like that's Fluminense could still lose. Flamengo won the first game of their semifinals like 3-0. So they're in the final. Fluminense drew the first one, 1-1, and I think we're gonna go through again. So we're gonna see a Fla-Flu, which is the name of the derby. It's like the most traditional derby in Brazilian football. At least I think so. That's my way of thinking. But we both played our reserves and some of our youth for like half the league as well. It's just that right now, I mean, Flamengo is just another beast, but Fluminense also has a pretty big squad with a lot of like similar quality players. Fluminense is doing well this season. This is the first season I've been excited for Fluminense in like 8 years. So it's looking good. So that's why the reserves could still take care of business. Flamengo finished first, Fluminense finished second. But teams like Bahia, they have like 15 good players. They don't have like 23, 25 good players.
Let's shout out some comments here. We got Talk MU, big up everyone. And big up Antoine. Thank you for coming in. Like first time on, mate. You're doing very well. Loving hearing from you and your opinions. Charlie, my brother. no cousin.
Morris talking you.
Charlie, what's up, bro? From Jordan.
What's up, Jordan?
Good evening, gentlemen. That's from the Man United Agenda. That's Solo. Big up to him. Yes, Anthony, says Talk MU.
We talking you?
Antoine, my missus has suddenly become interested in the stream, mate. I wonder why that is.
Matt, which Antoine? Me or this? But which Antoine?
That one, I think. That's right, the one. Sorry, Antoine. Not Antoine, not Antoine. All right, okay. Don't get it. Hi, Anthony from Lina. I don't know. Bahia. Am I saying that right? Help me out here, people. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Cool. I hate trying to pronounce things sometimes. I'm not great.
Bahia. No idea.
Yeah.
I don't know what language that is, so I can't like.
I thought it might have been Brazilian because it just has that similar.
Brazilian's not a language, Maddie.
Brazilian Portuguese kind of is, right? It has its differences. Like you say some words that are different. Portuguese people are like, what are you saying? Oh, that's Brazilian way of saying it. Right, I get it. It's like the Welsh speaking English in certain ways. Hit the subscribe button. Yes, please do that. Thank you, everybody. Brazil is the way. Yes, it is. Copacabana Beach. Beautiful. Wolves. Yeah, 1-1 at the moment. Big up the panel. Miss Melina, thank you so much for coming in, Miss Melina. There's a good question for you guys. Maybe we should start this off with Antoine first. Who is your favorite player in the Brazilian league?
Ooh, that's really hard. May I choose a Brazilian player and another player who is not in Brazil?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually pick one from Flamengo and one from somewhere else.
Okay, that's hard. Okay.
For him.
So I guess the best player for me in the Brazilian league is De Arrascaeta. He's an Uruguayan player. He's a midfielder.
Yeah, midfielder. Number 10.
Fantastic.
He's a number 10.
I don't understand why he's not in Europe. Okay, he earned a lot of money, I guess. 1,015,000. That's it. More than 1 million reais.
Wow.
A month.
That's monthly, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. And I guess outside Flamengo, it would be. I guess I would say Gabriel Veron, because he's a really good prospect from Palmeiras. I guess he will be a really huge player. but I don't think he achieved his peak yet. So I guess it will be those two.
Someone's honking on the streets out there in Brazil. I hope
Yeah.
it's Brazil, not Bristol. Anyway, one or the other. One of the B's.
If you would be.
That's your tractor, isn't it, eh, Anthony?
Oh, that's my tractor.
Who's yours then, Charlie? Yeah, Charlie. Who's your favourite Brazilian player at the moment?
Is it doable now, or do we go to Anthony? Because
Oh, Anthony first. Yeah, sorry, you got a few shelves to put up, shall we say?
You stitched me up here, Matt. I didn't really know.
Maybe Anthony then. Maybe who's your favourite Brazilian player of all time? Because I know it's difficult. It is for me. I wouldn't be able to tell you. So,
no. That's a whole other story. We got to go back to that. That's a big answer.
But he can't answer it, Charlie.
No, you know what? I think Antoine and I can probably. I think the best player in Bahia, is he still there? Ramires?
No, he was sold.
No, he left.
He left last year.
Who's the best player in Bahia right now?
Gilberto is very good.
Yeah. He's a good striker.
See, there you go.
Probably go with him. Go with him then. He's a good
I'll
pick.
go with him, Gilberto. And all-time ever favorite one has got to be Ronaldo.
Oh,
my
nice.
all-time favorite Brazilian player, Ronaldo.
Great. What about you, Antoine?
Of all time,
We've done you already. Of all time, yeah. Might as well push on to that.
I guess Ronaldinho.
Nice. Charlie? Did Charlie even say one?
All right. I'm sorry for this. I hope my voice is louder than this bullcrap, but okay.
Charlie.
I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to repeat what Antoine said, because De Arrascaeta, I agree with him. He's the best player in the league, but he's a Flamengo player, so he's sure as hell not my favorite player. But actually, Flamengo has two other players that they're both from the Fluminense Academy who are amazing, and they could have huge careers in Europe as well. That's Gerson, midfielder. He can play as a number 5. Sorry, you guys say it, a number 6. He can play as a number 6. He can play as a number 8. He can play as a cam as well. He can play as a winger sometimes. The dude he does everything right. He does everything right. If he just stays consistent, which he has in Flamengo, I'm pretty sure he has, he's going to have a brilliant career. The thing is, he does seem to be very much in love with the life of a Flamengo player, right? Like, maybe he's not interested in going back to Europe. We have some evidence of that. And the other one's Pedro, striker. He's not even a starter for Flamengo, but I think that's nuts, because in my opinion, he's the best Brazilian number 9, as in goal scoring player out there. I think better than Firmino for sure.
Hey, I agree.
But my favorite player is Fred. That's for both answers, actually. He's my favorite Brazilian player ever, just because he's the biggest idol in the history of my club. I saw him play, not United Fred. Not United Fred.
For a minute there, I thought you was Ads, and I thought you was picking out Fred from Man United. Okay, shouts out to Ads as well. I do like Fred. He's not the Fred that they're talking about.
No. Fred, a number 9, he just became the second highest scorer in Fluminense's history. He's won 2 leagues for us, and we have 4, so that means a lot. Fred is just immense. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Ronaldinho's, and we all know about Pelé and all of that, but I can't go beyond Fred. He's my utmost idol for sure. And Palmeiras has another one that I think is really exciting. Another Gabriel Menino. He's so good, and he looks so experienced, right? He plays like a 30-year-old, but he's 20, 21.
Oh wow!
Very exciting player. That's actually a great topic.
Yeah, go on.
I don't know how much time Antoine has, I don't know if you're in a short schedule right now, but I'd very no. You know what? Before that, I said I was gonna talk about his grandfather, and I think it's important
Yes, please do.
because yeah, as he said, he supports Flamengo. I mean, there was a good chance he was gonna support Flamengo anyway because they have like 30 million fans. But the main reason why he supports Flamengo is because his family, they're not only Flamengo fans, but they're part of Flamengo's history. His grandfather is one of the most important people in turning Flamengo into this massive, massive club they are. Because the main reason why Flamengo is the biggest fan base in not only Brazil, the world, Flamengo has the biggest fan base in the world. So the main reason for that is because of the early 80s, where Flamengo was simply unplayable. Unplayable. They won everything. They won the Club World Cup against Liverpool back in 81. That's where Zico played. Zico is the biggest legend in Flamengo's history. One of the best players ever as well. And Antoine's grandfather was the president of Flamengo during that time. So the success that Flamengo found back in that day was the foundation of this huge fan base, and the amount of money that brings, the the TV money that comes along with this massive fan base. That's all because of that time where Grandpa Antoine was in charge. So that's really cool.
We'll ask Antoine as well, like from his side as well. Bargav, thank you for subscribing to the channel, mate. I didn't realize you didn't subscribe, bro. Thank you so much. Everybody as well, thank you for subscribing, sharing, and liking. Please do hit all the links if you can. Share it if you can. It really does mean a lot. Antoine, what Charlie was saying there about that, like, how do you feel about that, mate? It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's an honor for me because I was born in this middle of football, and my grandfather, as he said, know it all, knew a lot of people, and was a big president in the big club. So there's a lot of respect. For me, I guess the stories that he tells me about knowing Zico and going to Japan to play against Liverpool, I guess for me this is amazing. This is the most impressive thing maybe my family has ever done in his life. So that's it. I guess there's a few stories that we can tell. There's another ones that we can't. But it's very nice to be in this kind of family that supports the club from the inside and plays a very important part of his history. So yeah, it's really nice.
It is really nice. It's really good to hear that. I just want to shout out a few more comments. Big up to everybody. Bargav, thank you so much for your help, man, like during the last few months and etc. Yes, Bargav, always wanted to go to Uruguay. We will be flying there in about a week or two. So we can't do Uruguay without Chris Paul, who is one of our co-hosts. I think he's doing exams at the moment or studying. So that's way more important than this. So everybody go check out Chris Paul as well on Twitter, Instagram, etc. Very good football fan overall, not just a Liverpool fan, football fan overall, all around the world. He knows his stuff. If you really want to talk about any league around the world, he's one of the guys to be able to talk to. He's very impressive. Very impressive indeed. I hope to get him back on next week. Zacchaeus Forbes from the Man United Agenda, thank you so much for tuning in. This guy's really cool as well. You'll be back on soon, right, bro? I hope you are. We got a lot of Man United stuff to talk about. Big up Talk MU and Miss Melina from Bargav. A great insight into the Brazilian game, says Zach. Big up Bargav. I'm guessing you're saying that, Talk. Hi, Bargav, Talk MU, Charlie, Solo, Charlie, Matt. Hello, Miss Melina. Love the paint as well, by the way. I hope you share that out to everybody. It was a beautiful painting. This channel is moving, my bros. It bloody is, mate. Do you know why? Because we like hearing other people's opinions, and that's what a channel should be about, letting people speak and talk. And this is why
Of
I'm
course,
letting
it's
Anthony.
moving. We have an airplane.
Yeah, we do. We're not a pedlo. We're not a pedlo on the lakes. We are a plane. We are moving. Charlie, Anthony, mate. You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Well,
Yeah,
what are you going to say, Matt?
Yeah, you're not asking him anything. You're just saying Anthony. What do you want me to say?
I know you're. When are you moving to Brazil, mate?
Well, I've got to save up a little bit of money first. I'll move over there on my own. You know, I'll leave the missus in that here. I'll just come over on my own. I'll meet up with Cuz. You know,
Let's do
he
it.
can give me the
Let's do it.
sights. You know, tell me what
For
places
sure.
to mingle into and things like that. You know, what's the best bars in town?
I gotta send you northeast. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure is where the cousin that looks like you and made me call you cousin lives. I'm pretty sure that's where he is.
Is it?
Yeah. His name's Fred as well. But what was I saying? It's I just wanted to bring this up because I mean Antoine and I have been friends for a while, and football is a huge part of our lives as Brazilian kids. So we've had legitimate fights because of football. It's something you do. We were teens that were passionate about our team. And back in the day, Fluminense was actually competitive. I'd even say that Fluminense was better than Flamengo for a period of time, right? Like for 5-6 years or so. So it got heated, but it never got too heated because Antoine's a really calm guy. The first interaction I had with his mom, she yelled at me because I said something about Flamengo. She's hardcore, dude. Like she's not someone you want to fuck with. Like it's she's angry when she's talking. I mean, now she's happy all the time because Flamengo is doing wonderful, but she gets angry talking about football. It's funny. Their family is just nuts about it. But it's really cool.
Antoine, your family like are really passionate. It seems that's amazing, mate. Tell me the passion. Like how did your family get that passion? Like, I mean, explain the story.
So I'll start with my grandfather's father. So he was a Flamengo fan, and then my grandfather started to join the club, join the meetings, and he became a member of a small group who wanted to change the Flamengo status, and they got it, and they became president, and they took turns. Every person of this club took turns to be president of the Flamengo, and I guess that's it. That's when you're so in the project, so in the fans and the problems and the titles, you became a little crazy. You became a aficionado, and that's the problem. My mother and her brothers was born into this mess, and that's how I got in, and that's how my whole family started to loving and being crazy about this club. So there's nothing too much relaxing supporting Flamengo. There's always a mess. There's always loud screamings, and I try to be cool, but in my family, that's not possible.
And with the weather as well, it's probably not possible to stay cool, is it either? Which is what I wanted to ask about the weather as well. That does it make a difference, like depending on the region that you're from? I know you play the league in a different time to the usual leagues in Europe, etc., because of warm weather and stuff like that. Like, so would it make a difference if you're from the north or the south? Like, on what you said something about the altitude as well. Like, like, is there lots of differences between the teams on that sort of aspect?
No, I guess in the Brazilian football, no. There are problems like the grass, as I told before. There are clubs that are joining the artificial grass, and that's complicated because most of the teams, they like to wet the field to have a more dynamic game. And this artificial grass, the ball just don't don't roll. It's just the game became more slow. And when you have the talent, you have the passion, you need to run. That's not good. That's not very good. So for clubs like Flamengo, Fluminense, they are really fast. They depend on the ability of their players. Sometimes the ball doesn't help in this kind of grass. But there's nothing about weather or altitude in Brazil that's cool. Yeah.
Charlie?
I want to try to talk, but this is. Is this good? Does this work? Is this better somehow?
You sound like a pilot now. Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Brazil doesn't get cold, right? Like it, and because we don't play in our winter, it's the only time that it would get kind of chilly, like way down south. Maybe it could reach like 5 degrees, something like that. Sometimes even 0, but we don't play during the winter, so you're not gonna see extreme cold. You're gonna see extreme like hot, like very high temperatures, but Brazilians are usually used to it. Of course, they're human, so they sweat, they get exhausted, but we're sort of used to it. As Antoine said, we don't have a lot of different heights, different like altitudes in Brazil. Whenever we go to Peru, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, those countries have some like tall ass places that's really tough to travel to because you're not used to that kind of air, right? Like it's just different, a different pressure. A lot of players get sick and all that. That doesn't happen in Brazil, you know. But it is like for a national league, it is a little more tiring for you to be in the Brazilian league because sometimes you need to make like 7-hour flights, 6-hour flights to play, you know, because Brazil's a continental country. It's not like England where like what's the biggest flight from one corner to the other in England? Like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it's a little different. It's very tiring.
Do you guys like altitudes more? Says Sariguna. Thank you for subscribing as well. Everybody subscribe, share, like. We are on, I think we're 30 away from 600 now, so just get on it. But do you like altitudes more? Anthony, I can't even ask you this because England doesn't have an altitude at all. We don't even have a mountain,
No,
so I don't even know how we could even ask this from our own perspective. But
No. The only attitude, the altitude I got here is my missus. So yeah.
Don't tell her you said that. Oh, you probably will though. Anyway.
No, I'm not. She's actually started to watch some streams that we were going back a while ago. And she said, "Have you mentioned anything about me on there?" I said, "Yeah," but I said it's all nice stuff. Don't worry about it. It's all nice. She's in for a shock, isn't she?
Yeah, I think so. Don't show her. No. Charlie, then, yeah, what about the altitude? So you guys said it doesn't really matter, does it, about how high the altitude is? Or
I mean, I've never been to a stadium in the altitude. I don't know if Antoine has, but I never have. And I don't think it would be pleasant. No, I think players hate it. Players absolutely hate it. Like the only players that like playing in altitude are the players that are from the teams that play there because that's a huge advantage. They just have better lungs to play in that freaking weather. It's just it's a little inhuman actually. There have been conversations because it's tricky because a lot of people say that it's not really safe.
it's not your fault, bro. You're doing very, very well. You're doing very well. It's got a lot of housework going on. It's in the middle of the day in Brazil, so everybody just
the room is actually shaking a little bit. I'm afraid.
It's like 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock here, but there, and it cuts.
It's 4. It's 4.
Oh.
Yeah,
Almost 4.
mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
So maybe we should wrap it up there then, Charlie. Right?
I mean, no. We got to talk about the players, man. That's the most important thing. That's it.
Okay, cool. We can go for it, mate.
I would like to talk about the national team, but we don't have to. But I want to tell people who to expect to see in Europe soon.
Okay,
because just from his team, Antoine, like I would honestly say that maybe with the exception of the defense, I think Flamengo's entire team would probably be okay in some Premier League teams. Not all of them, but I think because their defense is kind of doing crappy right now. Fluminense's defense is better than Flamengo's. The partnership, like the center back partnership. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But other than that, mate, the other what is it? 8 players? No, 9 players, right? The other 8 outfield players and the goalkeeper. They all have a good enough quality to be playing in the Premier League. I don't know what teams in the Premier League, but all of them can make it.
Do you agree with that?
Can you put up the players page?
Yeah,
There's
let me
a
try. Let
players
me try.
page, isn't there?
Continue talking. I'll get that up.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get it rolling. No, Antoine's gonna get it rolling. Yeah, talk about exciting players.
Well, from Flamengo, I would like to say Pedro, who has been to Fiorentina and didn't quite work out, but he's stronger. I guess he's a better player, more mature. Yeah, really strong. Gabriel Barbosa, who is Gabigol. I guess we can expect maybe not the star that we thought he would be in the past, but he is a very good player, and he will be important player of a medium team in the Premier League. Gerson, as you said, I think Gerson could be like maybe Chelsea, Real Madrid. This guy is unbelievable. Even if he's sitting most of the games, he's unbelievable. Unbelievable. He can adapt of, I guess, every competition in the world. Maybe Premier League, Liga. He's spectacular. De Arrascaeta too. He's a midfielder who's a lot of creativity. He doesn't lose the ball, and he got a lot of assists this year and the past year. So I guess it will be a good name. From Flamengo, I guess this is it. Palmeiras have Gabriel Veron and Gabriel Menino, who are young players. I guess they are 19 years old, and they are superb. They are super talented, and I guess they will be joining Europe very soon. And São Paulo, they are not having young players that I can talk right now. Maybe Atlético Mineiro. Also, there's a lot of players that got a lot older. So young players at the moment. Kaique from Fluminense is really good. He just got bought from Manchester City Group, the City Group actually, and he has a future. Yeah, very talented, very skinny, just like in the right circumstances, of course, just like Neymar. Very strong abilities, very fast, and I guess we can predict a very good future for him. And to be honest, I guess that's it. Maybe the ones who are prepared to go to Europe, I would say those.
Well, look, I think we should probably wrap it up there. Charlie, we've lost Charlie. I don't know if you can see him. He's in space right now. Oh, there he is. There he is.
There he is.
And you're on mute, bro. I just lost
Yo,
myself.
I think I should have been in my father's office all along because I think the noise is better, the connection is okay. I should have stayed there. It would have been cool. Okay. I think I caught some of what some of the players that Antoine was talking about. Every single one he mentioned would be good in Europe. I don't know who's actually going, right? Like you never know. As I said, right now the teams like mainly Flamengo, but other teams like Atletico Mineiro before they break because they're gonna go broke very soon. But until that happens, teams like them, São Paulo, they are as attractive as a lot of teams in Europe. So even though Arrascaeta could definitely play in Europe, Gerson that he was talking, he's for me Gerson, as we say in Portuguese, Gerson, so Gerson in English. For me, out of the entire league, he's the one most ready for European football, in my opinion. Just from playing style, just the versatility, the strength, everything, the vision. He walks into Arsenal or United. because he's twice as good as Fred is. He's much better than any alternative we have for a partey partner, like Ceballos, El Neni, Xhaka. They're all crap compared to Gerson. Okay, yeah, that's a good list. That's a good list. You
That's
have,
the top.
I think he
14 there at least.
he mentioned a good part of them. I think Antoine, did you talk about Matheus Henrique?
No, I didn't. He's a very good. He was playing like 3 years from a very high football. I mean,
Yeah.
he's very good since he has 20 years old. So he will be a name that I would concern. But Grêmio was a lot better in the past than he is now. So
Yeah.
his football got a lot worse too, but he still have a great future ahead of him.
Yeah. Who else? This Pepe guy is a good winger as well. He's like you guys remember Everton? Cebolinha. He was linked with a bunch of teams in England as well. He plays in Benfica. Pepe is supposed to be his successor. I think they're more or less the same level. They're not spectacular, but good players. Pedro's an amazing number 9, and Antoine's right. Like, he used to be really skinny. Now he's a bulky dude as well. Like, he's got a lot of strength. This one actually makes me sad. Marcus Paulo. He's another Fluminense Academy player. He was very promising, but I don't think he's gonna end up being that good. Like, he hasn't been doing well in the past year and a half. He didn't renew his contract, so Fluminense didn't want to play him. We ended up not selling. He's going to Atletico Madrid. Like, he's going to an amazing club. So if Simeone saw something on him, that probably means there's something there. But then again, I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna flop. Do you think? I mean, I'll go back to the players, but Antoine, just a yes or no. Do you think Marcus Paulo is gonna do good in Atletico Madrid? Not really, right? Yeah. Okay. This the last name you see here is just because he's a little older, but he's one of the best players in Brazil, Claudinho. If not, like, he's probably the best player outside of Flamengo and Palmeiras. Claudinho, he was supposed to go to Leipzig, I think. I don't know what happened that he didn't. Maybe he's only gonna go in the summer. But he's a really good number 10. He scored a lot of goals this season. But I think the most promising player out of everyone is not here. Kaique from Fluminense. That's my very unbiased opinion. Very unbiased.
Charlie, do you reckon any of these players? Do you reckon, like, obviously, because like we got Edu at Arsenal, haven't we? Do you reckon any of them might be on Edu's radar to like come into for Arsenal maybe?
I do. I mean, we've been linked with Martinelli from Fluminense recently. That's another really promising guy as well. Good midfielder. I don't know how much Antoine has seen of him because he's quite recent. But Martinelli is a good player as well. I think we were linked to Ramirez from, like, that was just at Bahia, but that didn't make any sense. He's not good enough to be playing at Arsenal. I'm pretty sure we've been linked with Gerson in the past. And that would have been awesome. I would love to see Gerson at Arsenal. He would be a difference maker for us, for sure. Like, he could fit in anywhere at all. If he wanted to be our substitute left back, he's probably better than the options we have. Like, he wouldn't put Tierney on the bench, please, for the love of God. I'm not saying that Tierney's a baller, but he'd probably start for us in the midfield and be able to fill in a bunch of different positions. I'd love to see him. But then again, it's not like Flamengo paid peanuts for him. He probably cost Flamengo like 18 million, something like that. So he'd probably cost like 30 million to take him out of Flamengo. That's another thing. Like, Flamengo doesn't sell players like Brazilian teams usually do. They sell like European teams do.
Oh.
I agree with that. Yeah. I'm cool with that. I'm learning about this. This is all good. I'm pretty sure everybody that's tuning in is learning too. We can't go on for too much longer because we have gone over the hour mark, and once it goes over the hour mark. We lose interest in watching backs.
Yeah.
You wanted to touch on the Brazilian national
team. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna get back to Brazil at some point, guys. This is not the last time we're gonna be talking about Brazil, and it's definitely not the last time you're gonna see Antoine here. He's a good buddy of mine, so he's gonna join every now and then. Now, I was really glad to see him here. Yeah, he needs to go, by the way. So, last question, última pergunta, irmãozinho, because we don't need to talk too much about that. How would you make the Brazilian national team good, competitive again? Because we haven't been the Brazil that people are used to.
Wow. Okay. I guess from goalkeepers, we're clearly good because we have Alisson and Ederson who are incredible. Maybe I would do a lot of changes maybe in the middle. I would make Casemiro. I would bring Gerson, and maybe that's it. I would put Neymar from the left. Maybe David Neres. I really like him from Ajax. And in the front, I would put I guess Pedro better than Gabigol. Well, I didn't really thought of that. And yeah, I would bring some players from Flamengo and some players who are developing in Brazil. That's for sure. And maybe understand a little bit more about Brazilian players who are playing in Europe, like Emerson, who plays in Real Betis, David Neres, who isn't called a lot often. Maybe Richarlison he's always playing well in Brazil. So Firmino too. So I understand
Martinelli from Arsenal hasn't been called up yet. He's really good and exciting too.
Yeah, there's a lot of very good names, but they're not always changing to understand the necessity of playing one time or two to adapt to the national team. So I guess they would do a lot of rotation to bring the players close to them and then have the best of the players. So that they are not doing it, so I would do it.
Yeah. Antoine, thank you so much. Obrigado, irmãozinho.
Thank you, guys.
I know you have to go.
Yeah,
we're gonna bring you back whenever you're free. If you want to talk about Friends with us, we're gonna be talking about that soon. And yeah, man, thank you so much, Matt. Anthony, say it with me. Obrigado.
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 Obrigado a vocês.
Please, Antoine, tell us where we can find you, mate, and shout out your socials. Thank you so much.
My Instagram is @demai, and that's it. I only use Instagram.
Yeah, brilliant. Go check out Antoine Demay, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Charlie.
Nice to see you, Antoine.
Or are we wrapping it up?
Yeah, we should, mate. We should.
All right. Sounds good. Well, find me here. I'm a co-owner, co-host. For some time, I'm still only doing these streams because I'm a little busy, but I'm always going to be here on Mondays. Follow me on Twitter @MarleyChillin, and follow me on Instagram @CharlieMillen.
Thank you, Charlie. And Anthony as well. Where can we find you, bro?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. You can find me on Stephen Featley's stream. He's doing really well there. So, if you want to like, click and subscribe to that, do that. He's just got 1,000 fans. So well done for that, Steve. And also you can find me on here on Matt's stream.
Yes, mate. Thank you so much for coming on again, Anthony. I thought we'd better wrap it up there. We're at 1 hour, 10 minutes. We did talk very good. A lot of people have commented saying it was really insightful, which is good news. It means people learned something from it. And we will be back talking about the Brazilian League. And hopefully we can mash it together with the Uruguayan League as well, so we can have a really good talk. This has been great tonight, though. A really good hour and 10 minutes. Thank you so much for subscribing, sharing and liking. And we will see you Wednesday for United across the pond. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy it.
Ciao.
Player.
Bye.